Blizzard, you're killing me. It's a Monday. I have class and I have stuff that I gotta do for those classes. And then you're gonna release 12 new cards plus a card I haven't reviewed yet. So it's 13 cards in total for this card review. And I got shit that I gotta do. But Blizzard, I gotta stay relevant with the Hearthstone community. So I gotta release this the same day that the stream was. You're killing me. Like, do this like on like a Sunday or a weekend or something. So us small content creators that also have other shit they gotta do can also do the card reviews. It's fine though. So hello everybody, it is Michael from StevensvilleGamers and welcome back to another Hearthstone card review for the Rise of Shadows expansion. Now, we're just gonna jump right into it. Unfortunately, Ben is sick today. I'm really sick. I can't do today's show. I'll be back for the next one, I promise. Tell the viewers that I love them and I'll be back. They can hear you. You're right next to the recording area. He's sick, so he can't join today. But without further ado, we've got a lot of cards to review, so let's go ahead and get started. The first one is the Priest Legendary. It is Madame Lazul. She is a 3-mana 3/2 in the Priest class, and her battle cry is discover a copy of a card in your opponent's hand. Now this, kind of like a Dragon Operative, kind of like that weird squid thing that I don't remember the name of. There's a lot of cards that it's kind of similar to, but I think strictly better than both of those. This is a really strong card because it gives you a spell from your opponent's hand, which usually your opponent wants to put good cards in their deck, so you'll most likely be able to get a card that works and is good with your stuff. Even if it doesn't synergize as well, hopefully you can be able to discover out of those 3 cards something that can help you or benefit you in some way. Also, the more important thing in this, it seems, is that it gives you information. You get to look at 3 cards in your opponent's hand. You get so much information off of that. You can figure out what type of druid they are. If they're a Mechathune druid, if they're a Taunt druid. You could figure out if they're a Death Rattle hunter, or if they're, what other hunters are there? And you can figure out if they're an odd, well, you can tell if they're an odd paladin because it'll change the hero power. Or even shaman, that's the same deal. Hopefully with the new expansion, there's more deck variety, and Madame Lazul will be way more useful in determining whether or not a deck is a certain type of deck or not based on the 3 cards of information you get. And you can play around those cards. This card is so good, and a lot of people are saying this is a really boring effect and it's kind of like the same thing in a way to other things. If it's a boring effect to you, then you're bad at card games. This gives you an opportunity to see what you have to play around in your opponent's hand. It gives you 3 cards of information. This card is fantastic. I don't care about its stat line. It's a 3/2, which isn't super powerful for a 3-drop. You maybe be able to trade in the early game. Doesn't synergize with the rest of the Priest cards that we've seen. Yes and no. None of the Priest cards that we've seen thus far, in my opinion, really synergize into some sort of archetype. This is just more value style cards, which I like, and this is a good value card, and I'm giving it 5 stars. This is super good, not flashy, not exciting, but big brain plays good. I like it. So the next card we have is a 3-mana 3/3 rare in the warrior class called Clockwork Goblin, and its battle cry reads shuffle a bomb into your opponent's deck, and when it is drawn it explodes and deals 5 damage to your opponent. Also relevant, it is a mech as well, so you can discover this off of Discovery Drone, and you can get this off of Omega Assembly as well. We've seen a card exactly like this, which was the something bomber that some people decided to try to run in Shutterwalk Shaman to shuffle a bunch of bombs into your opponent's deck to really speed up the Shutterwalk process. That was seen a little bit because it was in the neutral class, but it was a 5-mana 4/4, which is terrible stats for a 5/5 or for a 5-mana card in my opinion, especially when it's not an immediate effect on the board. Because this is a mech and there's still magnetic stuff in the game, this can be a base for something that you can magnetize stuff onto, which makes it a little bit better. 3 mana 3/3 is definitely more manageable as a stat line instead of like a 5 mana 4/4. I think this card is pretty solid, and as we get down the line, you'll see that this idea of bombs is very heavy in the warrior class, and it seems like that is going to be the synergy around the warrior class. Whether or not people will actually decide to use that, we'll see. But I think it's a cool and fun and interesting mechanic. I think this is a solid 4-star card. All on its own, it's pretty okay. 3 mana 3/3 with a later effect down the line. It synergizes well with other stuff that I'm going to reveal and review shortly. And it's a mech, so you can build on top of it with the magnetic stuff. And it also gets the added bonus of the discovery off of delivery drone and the random chance that you can get this off of like an Omega assembly. I like it, pretty cool. There's a lot of synergy and cool stuff that Warrior looks like it's going to try to do. 4 stars. Next we have a 2 mana 1/1 common neutral card called Evil Cable Rat, and it is a beast. Could be very, very relevant if Rexar wasn't rotating. Can we have a moment of silence for Rexar? Thank you. He was my favorite hunter card. This battle cry reads, add a 1 lackey to your hand. We've already gone over the lackeys. You already know what the lackeys are. This seems pretty underwhelming. You get 2 mana 1/1. And then you get another 1 mana 1/1 with a separate effect. I think that 3 out of the 5 lackeys are pretty universally good, and 2 of the lackeys are pretty good in certain situations, and sometimes just The lackeys are an important part to this set, and I guess an important part to the lore. They're not terrible. A 2 mana 1/1 is really bad in my opinion, and I don't know if the lackeys will make up for that really bad stat line, because you're basically getting a 3 mana 2/2 with one of the lackey effects. I don't know if that's going to be good enough for 3 mana. I don't know. I think this is one of those okay, not super bad commons. So I'm going to have to give this card 2 stars because it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but also 3 mana 2/2 with a lackey effect is definitely not great by any means. We're time to get evil because this is Dr. Boom's Scheme. It is a 4 mana warrior common card and is gain 1 armor. Upgrades every turn. Okay? That's all you got, Blizzard? Is that really all you got? Gain 1 armor? Now you're like, ha 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 ha. Wait, Michael, there's more. It upgrades every turn. But at what point is this good? How long does this have to sit in your hand for this to be good? There is a 3 mana spell that a lot of us may know that gains warrior 5 armor and draws it a card, and that sees a little bit of play, and it's okay for 3 mana. So for 3 mana 5 and a card, seems pretty good. There's also the ones where it gains you armor and then has another effect, and that sometimes is okay because it gains you the 5 armor and gets you something else. This is just gain armor. Yeah, Ironhide was 1 mana, gain 5 armor, no other effect. So at 4 mana, you would then say that you would need 3 extra Ironhides, so 5 times 3 is 15. 4 mana for 15 armor would be the same value as an Ironhide. Yikes! This is going to have to sit in your hand literally forever. I don't know if there's any other synergy that's going to be built around armor. Obviously, there's stuff like Shield Slam and Reckless Flurry and all of those kinds of things, which are usually used right now on Odd Warrior that can rack up the armor pretty quickly. But I guess it can be used in a Control Warrior if you want to. It seems like there's better, more efficient ways to gain armor, but maybe there isn't because a lot of that stuff is rotating. Plus, Baku is getting rotated as well, so the 4 mana instead of 2 armor is leaving as well. So I don't know if this is going to replace armor generation that Warrior used to have to activate these Reckless Flurries and these Shield Slams. I don't really know. This card just seems really bad in my opinion. Going by Ironhide, which was also a 1 mana common, gain 5 armor, no extra effect. Going by that logic, you would need to have this card in your hand for 15 turns. to get that same sort of value. 4 mana, 15 armor, 1 mana, 5 armor. Or maybe even more. It would be 20. My math was wrong. You would be 20. That's 20 turns that this has to sit in your hand. I don't think this is good. It'll always get played for an amount of armor that isn't worth 4 mana with no extra effect. 1 star. Here is another warrior card. We're just going warrior cards, boom, boom, boom in a row. This is a 7 mana, 7/7 legendary minion. This is Blast Master Boom. Battle cry, summon a 1/1 boom bot for each bomb in your opponent's deck. Now the boom bots are the same as the other boom bots in Goblins and Gnomes when that Dr. Boom came out, dealing between 1 and 4 damage upon their death rattle, which seems really okay. 7 mana, 7/7, kind of like a Boom Master Flark situation, except for these are 1/1s and can actually attack. You don't need to rely on the mech situation and the magnetic situation to make this card decent. Also, you have to then get a ton of bombs into your opponent's deck using Clockwork Goblin or other cards that shuffle bombs into your opponent's deck. And this seems pretty okay, I guess. You're having bombs being thrown into your opponent's deck, and you're getting boom bots, so there's just a lot of splash damage going on everywhere. Your opponent's getting 5 damage because of the bombs. You're getting damage because of the boom bots. You're throwing mechs at them. It seems like a fun, interesting way to build, but will it be good? I don't really know. You need to do stuff like Elk and Belful Bankers to shuffle more bombs with Elk, shuffle copies of the bomb creating cards back into your deck to then throw out more bombs. Also, you then have to realize that they can draw those bombs before you play the Blastmaster Boom, which then makes it worse, because if you shuffle a bunch of bombs into your opponent's deck and then they draw those bombs and then you play Blastmaster Boom, you're not going to get a whole lot because they already drew all of those bombs. So this is really weirdly like deciding whether or not something's good or not based on how much your opponent is drawing, which is new and kind of interesting, and also adds a lot more like variables into it as well. I don't know if this is going to be necessarily good. I think this is really cool. The warrior archetype for this set is starting to morph and shape itself, and I kind of like it. I kind of enjoyed it. I like Boom Master Flark, believe it or not. I thought it was going to be cool and good. You can go back and check out that card review as well. I thought it was going to be good. It was not. This seems very reminiscent of that, but with more variables, but a little bit better payoff. So I don't know. I'm going to say that Blast Master Boom for right now is a 3-star card, and I hope to see more bomb shuffling effects so then we can make a bomb shuffling kind of scheme. Not scheme because the scheme's bad, but a bomb shuffling deck for warrior would be fun and would shake it up a little bit from the hard control warrior meta that warrior is in right now. 3 stars. Next we have a 4 mana warrior weapon at the epic slot. It is a 3/2 weapon. It is called Wrench Caliber, and after your hero attacks, shuffle a bomb into your opponent's deck. Here we go, Blizzard. That's what I want to see. More bomb stuff. Because this looks fun, and with my luck, it's gonna be bad. This seems pretty interesting. 4 mana for a 3/2 weapon. Seems a little bit weak, maybe. There is the 3 mana 3/2 weapon that we all know and love called Eaglehorn Bow in Eaglehorn Bow in the Hunter class, which of course you know the durability situation with the secrets and all of that. This is 1 more mana than that, and it's an epic. The other one is a rare. It does also have an extra effect. I think this extra effect is worth the extra mana because this sets up your combo with Blastmaster Boom, which is pretty cool in that sense. This on its own is a little bit extra splash damage, and maybe you can deal with some small stuff on your opponent's board. I don't know. It seems not terrible, and it helps the Dr. Boom synergy situation. With that being said, in the comparison to the Eaglehorn Bow, I think that this weapon is going to get 3 stars as well. This helps with the combo. It also has its own thing being a weapon. Overall, it seems pretty decent. decent. It's an okay, decent weapon. So I'm going to say 3 stars. We have another legendary minion. This is a 6 mana 5/5 Heist Baron Togwaggle, and it is the rogue legendary, obviously. And its battle cry is, if you control a lackey, choose a fantastic treasure. So these treasures are the same as Marin the Fox treasures, which are pretty good. Like that's pretty good. Plus you get to choose a fantastic treasure, and there is 5, I believe. I was incorrect. There was 4 treasures for Marin the Fox. So you get to choose one of those 4 treasures, and there is no breaking a chest that they can silence. There's none of that. You just get it if you control a lackey. Turn 7, you play a lackey, you use its effect, you drop a Togwaggle, you get a thing. This seems really, really fun. Rogue is gonna be really, really fun, I think, because then you can hold a Togwaggle scheme. Turn 8, okay? I play a lackey, and then I play the Togwaggle, and then I play a Togwaggle scheme, and I shuffle a bunch of Togwaggles back into my deck, and then I keep that lackey alive or have other lackeys. This looks like fun. I'm excited to play with it. Thank you, Hearthstone, for making Rogue the fun class this time with weird stuff like this Togwaggle, the Togwaggle scheme, and the lackeys. Maybe this is when you use that evil cable rat. Even though it looks really bad, you play it in the early game and you hold on to a lackey for something like this. That would make sense. Or the combo card that adds 2 lackeys to your hand, which you can hold one of them for when you draw another Togwaggle that you schemed into your deck. I like this. This is gonna be fun. The treasures from Marin the Fox were pretty good. It's an immediate impact. Next turn, you get something, so I guess not immediate, but with the chest, you have to break the chest, and then you get it, and then you can play it. This is more immediate, and you get the choice. Is it going to be good? I really hope so, but I will keep a level head, and I'll say that this is probably going to be 4 stars. The potential is there. You can do some weird, wacky shit with it, and I think that the Marin the Fox treasures that are now the Togwaggle treasures are going to be good enough to where this will be valuable to be played. And as a 6 mana 5/5, it's not the greatest stat line, of course, but it doesn't matter because you're gonna get a whole bunch of value off that treasure next turn or down the line. So definitely this is gonna be cool. This is gonna be fun. 4 stars. For sure. This is even more fun. This is even more things that are interesting. This is Hench Clan Burglar. It is a 4 mana 4/3 common in the rogue class, and its battle cry is discover a spell from another class. This is very rogue-like. You get to discover a mechanic. Yes, you get to see 3 spells, and it says from another class. It doesn't say your opponent's class. You could get it from any of the other 8 classes that you can play. Possibilities are endless. And it's a pirate, so there's pirate synergy there with some stuff. I think this is going to be this isn't going to be great, but it's also not going to be bad. This may see play in some sort of weird, long-lasting deck that you want more value off of. This is a cool mechanic. It fits rogue, and it's a decent body for 4 mana. It's a 4/3 for 4, and you get a card. It seems pretty good. I believe the same stat line as the Elven Minstrel, which I believe is a 4/3 for 4 with the combo. And Elven Minstrel saw play because you get to draw those 2 cards. I think this will see play because Elven Minstrel is rotating and this recycles itself. I think this is not bad and this is pretty good. And I'm going to go ahead and give it 3 stars. This seems pretty solid, very rogue-like, very value-based. Seems good, seems fun, and seems like it could see some play, especially in Thief Rogue or Test Rogue. So we have another rogue spell. This is a 6 mana epic rogue spell, and it is called Unidentified Contract, and it says destroy a minion and gains a bonus effect in your hand, very similar to some of the other bonus effect cards that we saw in the past. The one warrior one, which is gain 5 armor and do something else. The unidentified maul, just the whole unidentified thing that was happening. And this is a callback card for Togwaggle because the unidentified stuff came out in Cobalt and Catacombs, and the unidentified cards were pretty interesting, and I don't think they're going to reprint anything like Spellstones ever again. So I think the Unidentified Contract is a good callback card for the Rogue class. So the extra effects it can get is deal its damage to adjacent minions, summon a 1/1 assassin with poisonous and stealth, add 2 coins to your hand, or add a copy of the destroyed minion to your hand. All of those are pretty valuable. A couple of those a little bit more valuable than the others. Mainly, in my opinion, the getting the copy of the destroyed minion and dealing its damage to the adjacent minions seems a lot better than getting the assassin or the 2 coins. But the 2 coins can help with some sort of combo situation. But I think that this is a pretty decent card. It destroys a minion and you do something else for 6 mana. Seems okay. No questions asked. Does a thing. Reminds me of Siphon Soul. 6 mana, destroys a thing, gain 3 health. This, 6 mana, destroy a thing, and have a different bonus effect. Some of which are better than others, but you still get that bonus effect as well. So I think that this is going to be a solid card and really giving a reload to the single target removal that Rogue has had. They're losing Vile Spine, Slayer, which is unfortunate, but they still have Assassinate, Walk the Plank, and now Unidentified Contract. They still are probably the number 2 in single target removal, only next to probably Warrior. Pretty cool. I like it. It does some cool stuff. It doesn't feel very Rogue-esque, I guess, but it's like destroying a minion, so like it's an assassin or whatever. But I'd say I give this 4 stars. Seems a little bit expensive, but I think the extra effects are going to be worth it, so 4 stars. So next is a 4 mana 3/2 common in the neutral class, if that's even a class. It is called Traveling Healer, and it has Divine Shield and Battle Cry, restore 3 health. One of those healy boys at the common slot. It's a 4 mana 3/2 with Divine Shield, which seems decent enough. It has Divine Shield, and it is a body. You may see this in Divine Shield Paladin, if that's still a thing, but I'm pretty sure most of the cards for Divine Shield Paladin are rotating out anyway, so you probably may not see that. It's a 4 mana 3 heal with the Divine Shield body, so pretty generic, not much to say. It's not terrible. 4 mana is probably a good cost for something like this. It'll be able to make a little bit of trades after it heals something. Again, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but you know, you need those generic cards. You need those generic commons in the set, so I'm not going to judge it too harshly, and the art is kind of cute. I think he's like a little tortoise boy. I'm going to say 2 stars. This isn't groundbreaking. This isn't fantastic. This isn't otherworldly. But you need those generic commons, and as far as generic commons go, this isn't bad. More legendaries. This is a 2 mana 2/2 legendary in the mage slot, so we now have both mage legendaries. We have Caligos and we have Hindguard. I'm going to assume the K is silent. His effect is your cards that summon minions summon twice as many. And you might be thinking, what cards summon minions? Let me think. There's the Mirror Entity, which summons the 2 O2 taunts, which turns into 4 O2 taunts. I know that there's the portals. I believe the portals summoned a random one, but those are rotated. I can't really think of a lot of cards that summon other minions, so we'll come back to this in a second. So the next card that I want to talk about, adjacent with Hindguard, is a 8 mana epic spell for mage called Power of Creation, and it is discover a 6-cost minion and summon 2 copies of it. So for 8 mana, you are getting 12 mana worth of value, and you are discovering, so you'll be able to get the best one that you can see. We had something similar to this in the Warrior class last set, and it did not see any play. I mean, Paladin. There was the Paladin spell, not Warrior spell. It didn't see any play either, because Odd Paladin just wrecked everyone's face in Paladin stuff. So it doesn't matter. But there was a Paladin card that allowed you to get a 6 mana card with, I believe, Taunt and Divine Shield added onto it. This time, it is a 8 mana card that gives you 12 mana worth of things. And if we go back to Hindguard then turns this into a 10 mana play. Hindguard's 2, this is 8. Summon 4 6-cost minions, which is pretty powerful. There's some pretty good 6-drops. And if you can get 6 drops in mass, then that's even better. This card on its own, I would probably give 3 stars. It's not great. It's not fantastic. It discovers and summon 2 copies of a 6-cost minion, so you get 12 mana worth of stats. But there are some pretty crappy 6-drops out there that you may have to discover. There's a little bit of RNG to it, obviously. So I just feel like this card is a little bit too RNG, and the pool is only going to get bigger throughout the year of 6-cost minions. So this could get worse or it could get better, but for right now I'm going to say 3 stars for Power of Creation. But when you combine it with Hindguard, I think this turns into a 5-star card when it's played with Hindguard, because instead of 12 mana worth of random stats, you're getting 24 mana worth of random stats, which is 100% better with the sheer mass of them and that idea. So going back to Hindguard, I think that Hindguard is probably going to be a 4-star card if we see more things like Power of Creation, if this sort of summoning more minions kind of recruiting ability, not recruit as in a keyword, but recruiting more and more minions to defend Dalaran, it would make sense in the lore. It would be different for Mage to like try to fill the board up with stuff, and if there is more stuff like Power of Creation, I think that Kangar is going to be a 4-star card, and yeah, that's those 2 combined, and let's keep going. Holy mackerel, I was just saying that Mage needs more of these Discover Minions effect, and guess what? This is a 3-mana 3/2 beast at the common slot in the Mage class called Messenger Raven, and Battlecry is Discover a Mage Minion. So you get a random Mage Minion for 3 mana, and it could be any Mage Minion at all. So that's some value right there. It could be bad. You could get like an Arcane Artificer, or you can get something like the +2 spell damage 1/2/1 elemental guy, or you could get some really good stuff like a Caligos, you know. And if you could get 2 Caligoses because you have Kangar on the board, or Hangar, or however the hell you pronounce his name, that's 5 mana for like 2 Caligoses. Highlight reel potential is beautiful. Practicality of it seems okay. It's not super highly costed. It's only 3 mana, and you get another thing as well, so it seems pretty decent. So if these Discover a Minion effects keeps coming out, Kangar is going to get cooler and cooler, and Mage is going to have a new kind of identity. Will it be good? I don't really know. Again, I'm going to say just 2 stars for Messenger Raven. Messenger Raven is okay for 3 mana, plus the extra thing is always good. This card immediately jumps up to like a 4 or a 3-star when you add Hangar in. You're doubling it, so then you're getting 2 random minions off of 3 mana. I think Kangar is going to be very good and well played if this Discover a Minion deck gets some traction. But as a card on its own, without the synergy to the Discover a Minions, I think this is pretty good. It's okay. It's not the worst. I say 3 stars. I changed my mind. I said 2, I'm saying 3 stars now, because that's a lot of value to get a card and then something else. So I'm saying 3 stars for Messenger Raven. Oh my god, that was a lot of cards, and this is going to take forever to edit, but it's fine. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to leave you guys here. I'll see you guys tomorrow, because the next release is supposed to be the 26th. Why can't you do this shit on a weekend, Blizzard? I need to have time to do school and card reviews, and I want to watch people stream. It's fine, Blizzard. It's fine. I'm going to go edit this. So make sure you guys leave a like, a comment. Tell me what you guys think about these cards in the comments down below. Or come over to the Discord and talk about these cards in the Discord. Link to that is in the description as well. Follow me on social media. I stream Hearthstone, Pokemon, and other fun games. So come check that out. So subscribe, hit that notification bell, and check out the links for social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all down in the description down below. I post when I'm about to go live or when I upload a video, so check those out. And if you want to support me monetarily, I would super appreciate it. There are stream elements tips set up that I would super appreciate for streaming. And I have StevensvilleGamers merch right now, which will soon be updated with new designs that I'm working on right now. Check out the Redbubble link in the description. And also I have Patreon, and monthly help through Patreon is always accepted and appreciated. But other than that, hopefully you guys will keep the all yes spirit with you, because Michael from StevensvilleGamers is going to be signing off now. So 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. Bye.